Okay, so for this activity, and there's nothing earth-shattering or rocket science about this, but this is kind of a two-part process. And it's all kind of in conjunction with that idea of getting back to the essentials and having agreement. And we've had these conversations around our matrix, and we worked pretty extensively on those last year and even years before that, kind of determining what are the kind of the big units of study in the different curricular areas. But at this point, really, when you think about it, we've been in this so long, kind of as a group, and we have new people who are part of our staff. And we also, I think, have a reinvigorated as far as a desire to kind of get to the essentials. So what I'd like for you to do is use the concept or the topic of graphic organizers as kind of a helping you narrow into what's most important. So the two-step process today is on your own in about 5 minutes time, and you'll just use a sheet of paper to do this. Pick a topic, anything that's well known to you, a hobby, something that you enjoy doing. It really can be anything. It could even be your professional life. And build yourself a concept web. Now, the difference between a mind map and a concept map is concept maps tend to be a little bit more hierarchical, where you start out with your primary topic and then kind of, topic with a C, and then work your way down to, kind of additional topic and other related stuff that goes like this. And then you have all these things that kind of jut off of there. A mind map, on the other hand, tends to be a little bit more colorful and certainly involves having pictures and that sort of stuff connected like that. So however you want to do that, take the first 5 minutes and set up your concept web or concept map for yourself with kind of a main topic. And I'm going to go ahead and choose something near and dear to me, and that would be volleyball. And then you might want to just kind of play around with it and get comfortable with that idea of, what are the rules of volleyball, if that's kind of important to know. Who are, some of the, my favorite teams that I like to watch and that sort of thing. And just have fun with it and see what you can do. And then start to find connections between them. So if you see that there's a connection between, in the history, say like the history of volleyball, maybe that's another thing, if there's such a thing as the history of volleyball. Is there a connection between the history of volleyball and the rules? So you might see that connection here. And you might say that there is a change over time and through the history of volleyball that the rules have changed. So that's the first step, and just kind of play with that. If you feel like as a group you know exactly where we're going to go with this, this is where I'd like you to actually work as a department and figure out what are the essentials. So decide ahead of time what one of your main topics is. It could be a unit topic, it could be material related to, obviously, to your class, and you may want to divide up 7th and 8th, really up to how you do that. But then what I'd like for you to do is on the board, and department chairs, this might be a starting place for you, is to list your main topic right here. And it could be a unit. It of course may be related to something that you are all decided upon that you're studying, or just something that is an important knowledge base. And it can be content related for sure. And then what I'd like for you to do is silently over the next 10 minutes, everyone come up and add to this. So if your primary content, and I'm going to take one from social studies, has to do with, we'll just say specifically the Revolutionary War, and that is very content driven, come up and start to add to it. And maybe you might want to say an essential question around that might be, and you could write your essential question here. You might have over here These are the must-knows. These are the important stuff. And just go ahead and start adding things. Well, what I'd like for you to do is not talk as you do this. So have this up at the board. Come up and kind of just take a look at it, and you can come back and forth and start to see where the connections lie. If there's a connection between, that one's no good, between this item and say this item, look at how that is connected and really kind of work toward these are the things. And then have a conversation around why is it important that someone must know this? How does that help build sturdy human beings in the sense of understanding this particular element in their learning? And so hopefully at the end of the time, you'll kind of have a whiteboard that's just kind of blown up a little bit with some of this connectedness. And so that you can all look at it and go, yeah, this is really great. We have some strong questions. We have the central tenets of our understanding for this particular area of study as we kind of work our way through this. And hopefully it will all tie in together with a little bit of what Sid has been talking about and Cabinet has been talking around, that idea of focus. Come to an understanding, come to a grasp of, you know, what is it that we want our kids to be able to do as far as assessment tools? How do we know that they know or can do? And what does that look like on a day-to-day or a regular basis, not just interim or end of quarter summatives, but just so that we can know where our kids are with all of that. So spend a little time. Hopefully this will be total of about a half an hour of your PD, or rather PLC time, on the afternoon of November 8th. So if this will fit into your department plans, hopefully that will work, and I'd love for maybe someone to grab a picture of the work that you do and share it back with me. That'd be really cool to see. So thanks everybody, hope this helps.